Welcome back to the HIA-LI Economic Development Summit. I'm Eliud Custodio with Turner One Studio, and I'm here with Joe Campolo from Campolo, Middleton McCormick.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. Always good to talk to you.
So you are our moderator today. What did you hear that surprised you, if anything?
Well, it's not a surprise. It's just a message that I think surprises a lot of people who aren't doing this on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
And that is Long Island is changing, and it's changing drastically. And I think probably the most important comment that was made was the quote that Terry read from the governor, which basically said she's looking for projects to invest in, right? And that really is a pragmatic shift that people have to understand. Town supervisors and towns in general, they're CEOs. They're putting forward development plans, right, that they can't do on their own. Town budgets are very small. You heard that it's only 7%
Right, it's
of
a team effort.
They need the state, they need federal government, they need the county to invest in them. And so what I think was really important about today's program was it was just town supervisors putting their best foot forward saying, hey, invest in my town because this is what we're going to do.
Yeah. So on a more personal-ish note, I think you had mentioned to the crowd you live in Stony Brook.
I do.
I grew up in Stony Brook.
Yep.
What's going on with the dam and the duck pond there? I
So
know there was mention of it, but I didn't hear anything else beyond that.
Yeah, so it's interesting as is typical on Long Island when something is going to cost a lot of money to fix. There's a lot of finger pointing,
Okay.
right? And
Yeah.
so I think there was a lot of discussion and debate over who was ultimately going to pay for it.
Oh.
And you know, Congressman Nick LaLota, it's his district, Congressional District 1, and he's on the Appropriations Committee, and it's really important to be on the Appropriations Committee because they're the ones who spend the money.
Okay.
And he was able to secure a very big check to underwrite a lot of the costs that are going to be incurred in fixing that. So now it's in, and Supervisor Panico has been working really hard to facilitate it. So now it's on track to be getting redone, which is super important for that area.
So is it to make it a dam again and
Yeah,
the water
I
to collect?
think it's going to be,
It'll be
right
what it
back
was.
to where it was.
Okay,
Exactly.
good.
Yeah.
Was there an argument to keep it a meadow? I thought I heard that from
There were a lot of
people.
arguments. There were
Okay.
a lot of arguments that came up. But remember, Jim Simon, so Avalon Park, he donated all of that land. He created that beautiful park.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And part of that vision was to overlook that huge duck pond that was there.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be restored eventually back to what it originally was.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was really great.
And of course, a lot of people today spoke a lot about garbage and
Yeah.
trash. Is there anything beyond what the folks shared that we should be aware of? I know you're plugged in more than most.
Yeah, I wanted to raise that issue specifically, and I knew the audience was getting a little fatigued, but I wanted them to understand the crisis that we're facing right now on Long Island. Listen, we buy a lot of junk, and we have a lot of garbage. It's unbelievable how much garbage we create, and I wanted people to understand that, like, there's a huge cost to processing that garbage. There's a huge cost. It's got to go get incinerated. Then the ash has to go into the town dump. And there's a whole process that nobody really understands. All we do is we take our bag, we throw it in a trash receptacle, and the garbage company wheels it away.
Yeah.
And I think Supervisor Panico hit the nail on the head. It's the biggest cost increase we're looking at from an affordability perspective on Long Island, and everybody needs to understand how important it is.
Fantastic. So speaking to the membership of the HIA-LI, are there things we can do to get more involved in this, or is this really just on a political level?
Well, it's first of all, it's educate yourself. So what we're trying to do really hard at HIA is be educated consumers. We want to educate constituents. We want to educate business owners and CEOs so they can help educate their employees, so we're all better citizens. So really educating yourself, and that's why these programs are so important. Educating yourself on the issues are number one. Voter apathy is terrible, right? Some people just pick a line, the RD, and they go down. But you have to really understand the issues, and then you have to understand really where elected officials stand on it. You know, I heard somebody say a long time ago, the only difference between Republicans and Democrats on Long Island is if your parents were born in Brooklyn or Queens, right? So there's not really philosophically a big difference.
Yeah.
So you really have to understand where the elected officials stand on these issues that are important, and then vote for the right people.
Fantastic. Love it. Thank you for moderating. Thanks for your time.
Yep, I appreciate it.
Always
Thank you.
a pleasure.